Is your stomach feeling tight or your chest slightly full after eating, even when the meal was light? Do you notice a weird discomfort but still reach for your usual cup of tea right after? Well, this habit might be the one silently slowing your entire digestive system down. And it doesn't matter whether it's green tea, black tea, or herbal. If it's done at the wrong time, the result is the same. Nutrients blocked, stomach function weakened, and food sitting in your gut longer than it should. What looks like a healthy routine might actually be the trigger behind bloating, constipation, acid imbalance, and nutrient deficiency. Let's break this professionally. When you eat a meal, your stomach produces something called hydrochloric acid. This acid is crucial. It's responsible for breaking down proteins, activating enzymes, and preparing nutrients for absorption in the small intestine. Without strong acid, food stays larger in size, harder to break down, and sits heavier in the gut. Now here's where the tea comes. Most teas, especially black, green, and oolong, contain tannins. Tannins are naturally bitter compounds that bind to iron and interfere with protein digestion. When you drink tea right after a meal, those tannins bind to the minerals and proteins you just ate and form complexes your body can't absorb. Yep, you're literally drinking away the nutrients you just worked so hard to consume. And it gets hot tea, especially in larger volumes, also dilutes stomach acid. So even if your acid levels were strong enough to begin with, a full cup of tea right after eating can cut that acid which means slower digestion, longer stomach fullness, and more chances for fermentation and gas. If you're over 60, your acid levels are already lower than they used to be. That's natural. The stomach lining becomes less responsive, the enzymes become less active, and digestion takes longer. But when you layer tea over that reduced function, you risk blocking the exact process your gut needs to stay regular, efficient, and calm. Now most people think it's just a cup of tea. It helps me feel warm and settled after meals. Sure, it might feel soothing, but functionally, it's making things worse. What feels calm now turns into bloating 2 hours later. What feels relaxing now turns into poor nutrient absorption over weeks. You don't feel the nutrient loss until your energy drops, your nails weaken, your hair thins, or your muscles stop responding to protein. Let's put this into simple biology. Iron absorption can drop by up to 70% when tea is consumed within 30 minutes of eating. That means the leafy greens, lentils, eggs, or supplements you just took go to waste. Zinc and magnesium also become harder to absorb when stomach acid is diluted. And that means worse sleep, weaker bones, and slower metabolism over time. It's not about removing tea, it's about timing. Now here's a better model. If you enjoy tea, have it 45 to 60 minutes after your meal. Let digestion kick in first. Let your stomach acids finish the breakdown. Give your small intestine the chance to pull nutrients properly. Let's dive deeper into how this affects people with specific health conditions. If you're iron deficient, and many seniors are, tea after meals makes recovery impossible, even if you're taking iron supplements. Tannins block iron absorption almost completely when consumed with or near meals. If you have gastritis or acid reflux, tea right after eating can worsen the symptoms, because the tea's polyphenols can irritate an already sensitive stomach lining, especially when combined with food pressure. If you're diabetic, tea right after meals can cause inconsistent glucose responses. It can slow the absorption of carbs, causing blood sugar to drop too low, then swing back up. That throws off energy, insulin sensitivity, and mood. If you're underweight, tea right after food reduces calorie absorption. You need every gram of nutrition. Diluting enzymes, blocking minerals works against your goals. Let's correct the habit with full structure. When you wake up, start with warm water and a pinch of sea salt. No tea yet. Let your body rehydrate and begin its natural stomach acid production. Then eat a protein-rich breakfast. Eggs, soaked nuts, a small portion of fruit, not mixed. Give it time. Have your first tea of the day between meals. Mid-morning or mid-afternoon. That's when your stomach is clearer, and the polyphenols can work as gentle antioxidants instead of interfering with digestion. At lunch, chew thoroughly. Give your food the breakdown it deserves. Don't rush it. And after lunch, walk. Even a 10-minute walk boosts digestion by over 30%. No tea yet. Only after 45 to 60 minutes, when the bulk of food has left your stomach, is it safe to reintroduce warm fluids. And yes, green tea, ginger tea, even peppermint, they're all beneficial, but not when they're poured over a plate of half-digested food. Now here's something rarely discussed. The warmth of the tea might feel calming, but for elders with weak digestion, it increases bloat, because the extra fluid adds volume to the stomach before the first batch of food is processed. That stretches the stomach lining, delays acid concentration, and makes the stomach release its contents into the intestine before they're fully digested. That causes fermentation, gas, incomplete protein breakdown, and eventually bad breath, fatigue, and even bowel irregularity. This is how a single habit repeated daily builds up into long-term dysfunction. Now let's be clear, the solution isn't restriction. You don't need to eliminate the things you enjoy, but your timing must serve your biology, and digestion is a precise process. It works best when the environment is stable, acidic, warm, unrushed. Tea after meals disrupts that rhythm. Shift it, and you shift how your body handles food entirely. Now, if you're thinking this is too small to matter, let me give you one fact. Most nutrient deficiencies in seniors come from malabsorption, not lack of intake, and malabsorption begins with one thing: poor digestion. So even if your supplements are perfect, your food is clean, and your meals are balanced, if your digestion isn't strong, none of it matters. Change that one timing habit. Give your body 45 minutes after meals. Then sip your tea slow, mindful, and with nothing else in your stomach. And over time, your absorption improves, your energy comes back, your gut settles, and that normal bloat finally stops being part of your daily routine. Let's go further into the real digestive cost of tea taken at the wrong time, because what starts as a minor habit slowly reprograms how your body processes food. When tea is consumed right after eating, it directly interferes with stomach emptying. That means the time your food spends in your stomach increases, sometimes by 45 minutes or more. Now that delay creates pressure. It causes acid to creep upward, and it increases fermentation inside the gut, which produces gas and makes the stomach feel tighter, heavier, and more bloated, especially in seniors who already have slower motility. Now here's where that pressure leads to something called gastroesophageal reflux, which is a fancy word for food and acid pushing upward instead of downward. You feel it as belching, you feel it as heartburn, and sometimes you don't feel it at all. It just creeps into your throat at night and irritates your esophagus slowly. This isn't a rare condition. After age 60, nearly 40% of adults experience silent reflux symptoms without even realizing it, and tea is one of the worst contributors when it's consumed within 30 minutes after a meal. Not because it's inherently bad, but because its liquid volume expands the stomach right when it's trying to churn and break down dense food. You're forcing a stressed system to stretch and stir simultaneously. That stretch triggers the lower esophageal valve to weaken, and once that valve weakens, acid escapes. Not every day, not loudly, but over time, consistently enough to cause real harm. Now combine that with low stomach acid, a common condition in elders, and you create the perfect storm: delayed digestion, gas pressure, weak acid, inflamed digestive tract. And that inflammation, over months or years, becomes what causes gas and bloating, random stomach tightness, pressure after eating, sore throat in the morning, iron and B12 deficiencies, constant fullness despite small meals. Let's talk iron again, because it's critical for people over 60. Iron isn't just about energy, it's about oxygen delivery. Without iron, your blood doesn't move oxygen efficiently. And when oxygen delivery is poor, you get tired faster, your memory slows, your heart works harder, and your muscles recover slower. Now here's the direct link. Tannins in tea bind to non iron. That's the iron found in plants, supplements, and even in fortified foods. And when those bind, the iron is no longer available for the body to absorb. And if your meals include lentils, beans, leafy greens, or oats, then drinking tea with those meals means you're flushing away your iron. Not figuratively, literally. That's why iron supplements rarely work in elders who drink tea too close to food. It's not the pill, it's the timing. Fix the timing, and the same dose starts working. Now here's a nutrient that gets damaged in a similar way: calcium. When tea is too strong or consumed in high amounts, it reduces the absorption of calcium, not directly, but by reducing stomach acid, which calcium needs to be broken down. And low calcium over time means weak bones. It means lower bone density. It means increased risk of fractures, especially in the hips, spine, and wrists. This is not a small issue, and if you're also taking calcium supplements or trying to get it from food. But drink tea within the same window, you're canceling the effect of that effort. This is what most nutrition plans miss. It's not always what you add, it's what you block. If your habits block the absorption of nutrients, then even the best foods become useless. Now let's talk tea types. Because not all teas are the same in their effect. Black tea has the highest amount of tannins. It binds iron the strongest. Green tea is lower, but still impactful. Oolong falls in between. White tea is milder but still not ideal right after meals. Herbal teas like chamomile, peppermint or rooibos have little to no tannins. They're the safest post-meal options when taken later, and even then, the timing matters most. Tea after 45 minutes, less risk. Tea within 15, higher chance of nutrient interference. Now most seniors aren't just drinking tea for pleasure, they're doing it for habit, for warmth, for calm, and that's fine. But what they don't realize is that tea can replace the natural digestive triggers that their body relies on. The body expects bitter tastes, chewing and slow hydration to signal digestion. But when you shortcut those with warm liquid and soft stimulation, the body forgets how to produce acid and enzymes properly. This is called hypochlorhydria, and it's one of the most common hidden causes of chronic bloating and nutrient loss in people over. Let's lay out the better routine now, step by step. Start your meal with bitters. That could be a slice of ginger, a small leaf of arugula, or a tiny splash of diluted lemon in water. Chew slowly. Chewing is the first stage of digestion. It triggers saliva, pre-breaks food, and sends signals to your stomach. The more you chew, the less your stomach has to work later. Wait at least 45 minutes before consuming any liquids over 3 hours. If you want to sip while eating, take 1 or 2 small sips of warm water, just to help swallowing. Do not drink full glasses of tea with food. Do not take supplements with tea. Do not use tea as a way to help digestion after a heavy meal. It backfires every time. Instead, get up after eating. Walk slowly for 5 to 10 minutes. Let gravity and motion assist your digestion naturally. Then after the food has cleared from the upper stomach, you can enjoy your cup of tea. Choose milder teas in the evening. Chamomile is a great option, so is ginger, especially for those who tend to bloat. Avoid caffeinated teas after 3 p.m. They interfere with sleep, and poor sleep leads to poor digestion the next day. The loop continues. So remember, the timing of tea matters more than the tea itself. Even good things, done at the wrong time, can work against you. And digestion is too important to sabotage with habits that feel harmless. You don't need to eliminate tea, you need to respect the structure of your body's timing. Let digestion run its course. Let stomach acid do its job. Let your nutrients get absorbed fully. Then enjoy your tea as part of restoration, not interruption. Now let's clear one more thing up. Excess weight after 70 is not just cosmetic. It increases blood pressure. It reduces oxygen levels during sleep. It puts pressure on your joints and spine. It makes walking harder. It makes breathing shallower. And shallow breathing means less oxygen for every system, including your heart, your muscles, and your brain. This is where things get serious. Less oxygen means less fat oxidation overnight. Your body burns less, stores more, and even when you fix your meals, your cells don't respond the same. Now what happens when you finally try to reverse this? You try portion control. You try intermittent fasting. You try early dinners and low-sugar diets. But if your sleep is still broken, all of those strategies fail because your body can't respond to food correctly without rest. And your muscles can't preserve strength without growth hormone. And your digestion can't repair the lining without deep sleep. Everything remains half-functioning. And that's why so many elders feel stuck in a plateau, no matter how disciplined they are. That's where support makes a difference. Not just advice, not just another rule, but something that actively works on your system without disrupting it. And here's the good news. There is a physical solution. Something that doesn't need swallowing. Something that doesn't need appointments. Something that works with your body instead of forcing it. It's called the Chill Pill Sleep Aid device. Now this tool isn't a gimmick, it's not a chemical. It's a simple palm-held device that activates the parasympathetic nervous system, the exact system your body uses to fall into deep, restful sleep. Here's how it works. It uses low-frequency microcurrent pulses delivered to your palm. These signals travel through your wrist into your vagus nerve. the nerve responsible for calming your heart rate, slowing your thoughts, and releasing melatonin. Not in theory, in real time. You feel it, you relax, and your body responds. Within minutes, cortisol levels begin to drop. Your breathing deepens, your temperature begins to lower, and the pathways responsible for fat metabolism begin to reactivate. This is why the chill pill doesn't just help sleep. It helps the body do what it was already trying to do, without the stress that blocks it. Because the truth is, most elders don't need to try harder. They need to stop overstimulating their systems. And that starts with calming the root tension that builds all day and carries into the night. The chill pill fits in one hand. You hold it, turn it on, let it work. You don't need a screen. You don't need sound. You don't need pressure. Just connection between the nerves in your hand and the signals in your brain. And what happens next? Your body shifts, not into sleep only, but into repair. That's when digestion improves. That's when fat burning resumes. That's when blood sugar rebalances. That's when inflammation starts to decline. And that's when weight loss begins, without punishing routines or impossible diets. Because when you sleep right, everything else works right. Let's recap one last time. Weight gain after 70 is not random. It's the result of repeated metabolic misalignment. Sleep controls insulin. Insulin controls fat storage. Fat storage controls energy. And energy determines everything: your movement, your digestion, your immune system, your mood. Fixing this isn't about cutting more food or walking in circles. It's about giving your body the signal to rest, recover, and burn. And the chill pill does exactly that. Simple, fast, safe. And the best part, you feel it working on the first night. And once your sleep comes back, your metabolism follows. Your weight stabilizes, your cravings fade, and your body stops fighting against itself. If you've struggled to lose fat no matter what you do, if you've tried early dinners, sugar cuts, daily steps, and still feel stuck, it's time to stop guessing and start aligning your system. Because once sleep is right, your body becomes capable again. And with a tool this simple, this effective, there's finally no excuse left.